So if you like cruising, there's a real good chance that you also like food too. Well, we are huge foodies, and if this is your first time joining us, I'm Gina from Ohana Eats, and our family makes food and travel videos from Hawaii to cruising and beyond. In this video, I'm gonna show you guys everything that we ate on a 7-day adventure on the Norwegian Bliss. So stay tuned, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, let's get eating. So I'm gonna start off this video by telling you that I ate at almost every specialty restaurant on board this week. Now, I have eaten at all the specialty restaurants on the Norwegian Bliss because I did a 2-week Panama Canal cruise on this ship a few years ago, and we loved everything that we tried, but I will say we're a little bit bougie with food, so I always get a meal plan. I do have 50 people in my group, so between all of us, we've eaten everywhere on board. So let me start off with the complimentary food first. So your breakfasts are going to be served in either the Manhattan Room, Taste, Savor, the Local, or the Garden Buffet. All of those are included. You can select anything from the menu. You're gonna have everything from omelets to eggs Benedict to pancakes to French toast, cereals, fruits, whatever you desire. For this particular cruise, we actually had all of our breakfasts at the Garden Buffet. The reason why is because we were waking up at all different hours, so we were just kind of doing a grab and go, really quick kind of a thing, but all the other people in our group ate in the other locations as well. Everyone really enjoyed their breakfast in the Manhattan Room and Taste and Savor, and a couple people really liked going to the Local. It's gonna be located right on the 7th deck, right outside of the casino, and it's open 24 hours, so you can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus a few items all day long. In regards to lunch, we definitely hit up the Garden Buffet more than anything else because we were either busy with excursions or just busy with activities around the ship. So again, we kind of were looking for a really quick lunch, except for one day we did actually enjoy the Local one day where we had some really great dishes. My son ended up eating this bacon cheeseburger, which was just great. I had this pork asada dish with fried plantains, rice and beans. That was really awesome as well. So we found that these two places were our go-tos for our family. It just worked out great so that we didn't have to kind of disrupt our everyday activities, and we've still grabbed a really good meal. So now let's talk about dinner. If you've checked out any of our videos, you can see that I love to cook. I make everything from scratch. I love all different kinds of cuisine. So when I go on a cruise, I want to sample everything that the specialty dining has to offer. On this particular 7-day voyage, we only did one night in the Garden Buffet, and then everything else was spent in the specialty restaurants. So I'm going to talk all about the specialty restaurants, what we liked, what we didn't like, and what you should get and what you should skip. Let's start off with Cagney's. On day one, we went to Cagney's. It is probably one of our favorite specialty restaurants throughout Norwegian Cruise Line. Every time we go, we get a really great steak. I like a lot of their appetizers there as well, and I just don't think anybody can beat their layered chocolate cake. If you have a sweet tooth and you especially like chocolate, you can't miss this cake. It's decadent, it's heavy, it's so good. I mean, you might not be able to finish the whole thing, but it is so worth each and every bite. We had a variety of appetizers this time. We had a shrimp trio, which is basically a shrimp cocktail. The shrimp were a great size and they were seasoned well. Definitely recommend getting that one. We also had the tuna tartare. For us, it kind of reminded us of poke. It was actually very fresh, it was tender, it was really good, and it was served with a little bit of a crispy potato chip on top. I would definitely recommend that one as well. We also had the French onion soup, which was really great, and we had the wedge salad too. Both of those were good, and I would say if you're in the mood for it, go for it. They also put bread on the table, and if you have any food sensitivities, they are really awesome with that. They actually brought me gluten-free bread, so that was great. When it came to the steaks, we all went with a different steak. Some of us had filet, some of us had ribeye, some of us had a strip steak. There are a lot of changes throughout these specialty restaurants, and there are some upcharges that weren't there before but are there now. They're not horrible. They're ranging from $10 to $25 depending on what you get. Just be mindful of that when you're looking at the menu. Every steak that we ordered was exactly how we asked for it. Some of us went with rare, some medium well. Everything was cooked perfectly. The seasonings are awesome at Cagney's. There's really nothing that I can't recommend over there. We really loved the sauteed mushrooms on the side. The broccoli was great as well as the baked potato. You can have some bacon, some chives, some all kinds of stuff put on top of there, and it was really great. If you're looking for one great specialty restaurant, Cagney's definitely tops our list. So for night 2, we decided to go to Ocean Blue. This is again a great restaurant. If you have the dining package, I really recommend adding this one to your list. So we started off with some scallops on pork belly. This was tender. The meat was great. The scallops were seared perfectly. It was a great size. I absolutely love this appetizer. Doe decided to go with the rock shrimp, and they were so big. The appetizer itself was so filling, like you could really like almost make a meal out of it. We highly recommend both of those appetizers. We also decided to get a soup and a salad. Doe went with the gumbo and I went with the beet salad. The beet salad is really light, and you can ask for a vinaigrette if you would like a little bit more seasoning on that one, but I love the beets. I love that they had the yellow beets, the red beets. Everything tasted great, cooked perfectly, tender, not too soft. They did a great presentation as well. The gumbo was hearty as well. It was flavored perfectly. Loved the little pieces of sausage in it. It was really, really tasty appetizer. So when it came to our entrees, I decided to go with the fisherman's platter, and I wanted it grilled. They do offer it fried as well. I've tried a bunch of dishes at Ocean Blue, and I haven't been disappointed yet. And so I knew that I really wanted to give this fisherman's platter a try, even though it was kind of big, especially considering all the appetizers we had, but it was so worth it. My calamari was seasoned well, it was cooked well, it was tender, it was not chewy. The shrimp, the scallops, the salmon, all cooked great. I love that it was grilled and I could season it with lemon. It is just so tasty. I love the fisherman's platter. Highly recommend it. Whether you grill it or fry it, it's definitely something you should taste at Ocean Blue. For Doe, he went with the black cod. This fish was firm and packed with flavor. The service was fantastic. I absolutely loved our experience at this restaurant. The staff was so attentive. They were constantly seeing if we needed anything. For dessert, I had a dark chocolate sorbet. I highly recommend checking out Ocean Blue. Then we checked out Le Bistro. Now, Le Bistro's menu has changed since we started cruising with Norwegian about 13 years ago. Obviously, things change, some things stay the same, but the one thing that we noticed is that the 3 peppercorn fillet is no longer on the menu. The fillet that is on the menu is going to be one served with foie gras, and there is an upcharge for that. We skipped that one on our trip to Le Bistro this time, but we did decide to try some of their other appetizers and entrees. We started off with some scallops. These were bay scallops. They were smaller and they were served with a cream sauce. I had mine with just lemon alone, but Bella delved into that cream sauce and she said it was so tasty. She was even like licking it off the spoon without the scallop on there. It was that good. Vincent and Doe both went with the steak tartare. Now this one wasn't one of their favorites. They would skip that and try a different appetizer when we go back to Le Bistro next time. Okay, so let's talk entrees. So I decided to go with the fresh fish. Le Bistro's presentation, their service, their flavors, everything is top notch. They do a beautiful job with their seafood dishes as well as their meat dishes. The second that they take off the silver lid, you're just like, wow, this looks great. And then when you taste it, you know that it all comes to fruition. The flavor's awesome. The fish was fresh. It was flaky. The sides were great. The potatoes, the vegetables, everything cooked perfectly. So the kids decided to go in different directions on this one. Vin went with this massive pork chop. This thing was breaded, fried, crispy. It was still juicy on the inside. It was not dried out at all. Highly recommend checking out the pork chop over there at Le Bistro. Isabella decided to go with the lamb chops. The dish came with 2 lamb chops, a creamy potato, a beautiful sauce, and awesome vegetables. This is another dish that we would recommend over at Le Bistro. Doe decided to check out the duck breast. The duck breast was split in half. It was seared perfectly on the outside, the crispy outer coating, the tender meat on the inside. The sauce drizzled over there perfectly, just made this dish outstanding. Overall, all of the entrees that we had were really great, and I can't say anything bad about any of them. When it comes to dessert, do not skip the desserts at Le Bistro. French cuisine, pastries, desserts, breads. That's what they're known for. We decided to get the poached pear. I had mine with a lemon sorbet. The poached pear was perfectly soft. It had this caramelization on it. The lemon sorbet was so refreshing. I absolutely love that dish. You can have it served with ice cream as well. And then Isabella had this chocolate dessert that was filled with a mousse. It had this beautiful glazed chocolate on the outside. That was decadent. Vincent went with the strawberry parfait and he raved about this dish. It was creamy, it was light, there was a nice amount of fruit in there, and it was just the perfect balance of sweetness. Doe decided to go with the cheese and fruit plate, and that was perfect for him. He doesn't have much of a sweet tooth. That was just a great finish to his meal. So again, if you're doing a dining package, add Le Bistro to that list. We also checked out Teppanyaki. Now let me give you a heads up before you even go in there. It is a loud experience. It's a lot of fun, but it's definitely not a quiet romantic dinner or anything to that sort. They are singing, they are dancing, they are throwing things in the air, tapping the grill. It is just like a big old party the second that you walk in the door there. The Teppanyaki chefs are all so much fun. They were singing a ton of Bon Jovi and some other songs. It was really like great. We had a great family experience. Each table seats about 8. They have both of the grills back to back. So the party in front of you and your party, you're kind of just all feeding off of each other. It's about 16 total in the table, and it definitely makes it a super fun experience. So it is a typical teppanyaki experience. It starts off with some edamame, some soup, either miso or seaweed soup, and then it goes into a seaweed salad with some fresh cucumbers, and then you get to your entrees. The entrees that they offer go from yakisoba, which is going to be like your meats with noodles, or just your traditional teppanyaki, which is meat served with your fried rice. The fried rice is great. They do all kinds of activities while they're making the fried rice to make it fun and exciting. They grill up some vegetables as well. Now, of course, because we are on a ship, there's no fire, so do not expect a flaming onion volcano or anything like that. Everything is on the grill because safety reasons, obviously, you never want to see an open flame on a cruise ship. So when it comes to entrees, we decided to get the steak, the shrimp, and the scallop. Every one of our proteins was cooked perfectly. We love the teriyaki seasoning. The chef made it a blast. He was so much fun. We really thoroughly enjoyed our whole experience over there at Teppanyaki. So when it comes to the dessert, they offer up a fruit sashimi and a green tea cake with ice cream. So the fruit sashimi is basically just sliced fruit, and the green tea cake was kind of a little that wasn't one of our favorite desserts. I would definitely say skip that and just have some fresh fruit, or head upstairs to the garden buffet and get yourself some ice cream, because we all know the ice cream bar and the soft serve here on Norwegian is just awesome. Last up, we decided to go to Food Republic. Now, Food Republic has long been one of our favorite specialty restaurants since it opened on the Escape many moons ago. Just to give you guys a little background, I have been cruising for over 30 years. I love being at sea, but I love having awesome meals while I'm at sea. So when Food Republic first came out, it's this Spanish Asian fusion. We were totally blown away. We loved all the dishes. I think we ate there probably 3 or 4 times in 1 week when we were on board the Escape. So of course, being over here on the Bliss and getting back to Food Republic, I could not miss a meal there. So they have a sushi section, they have some noodles, they have a bunch of different dishes. So it is true, on this particular 7-day trip, we didn't eat in any of the main dining rooms. I wanted to focus specifically on the specialty restaurants because I know that's our favorite, and for this vacation, I just really wanted to be pampered when it came to food. I love the specialty restaurants on board Norwegian. It really is the best way for our family to go. If you have a favorite restaurant or a favorite menu item or any questions about specialty dining, feel free to drop a comment or question down below. I hope you enjoyed our recap of the specialty dining over here on the Norwegian Bliss. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, stay safe and aloha.